Hey everybody, T Jizzle and the Kizzy. Today I'm going to show you how to make rice. Really good rice. It's going to be complicated, but trust me, it's worth the effort. So let's, welcome to my kitchen. Let's dig right in. So first thing you need a really nice pan like this. Don't need it, but it's helpful. This is, I think, a 3-quart saucier, and it's my favorite pot for this purpose. I also have a side pot over here on another burner, and I'll explain that in a minute. So let's talk mise en place. So first of all, we have 2 cups of mixed rice. It's brown, wild, I think white and something else. It's that stuff. I'm very partial to it. So it's 2 cups of that. And I have 3 cups of vegetable stock that I made myself and use for stuff like this. And then 2 tablespoons of butter. And these are the ratios that you need to understand. For every cup of rice, you need a tablespoon of butter and about a cup and a half of stock. If you like it a little bit moister rice, you can go a cup and 3/4 per cup, but I like to do a cup and a half. So, flavorings. We've got about a cup of onion that I chopped up. We've got about 4 cloves of garlic. We've got these little garlicky, scalliony things that I'm not sure what they are, but I have them around, so why not? We've got some herbage. I've got some rosemary right here that I pulled out of my garden. Yes, and that's actually a stained finger. It's not dirty, trust me. And then we've got some, sage that I chiffonaded out of my herb garden. And then we've also got about a half a cup of dried craisins that I kind of like to give it a little bit of a sweet oomph. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the burner on this guy back here. You can see she's got a low flame now. Put maybe medium to medium low, because that's a really small burner. If you were all on electric, you'd probably want that about low. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this stock and pour it in the pot, and I'm going to get it warming up and getting happy. It'll make it take less time when it comes time to actually start dropping everything and put the liquid in the rice to get it to boil. So that's going. I got that covered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the burner on here. I'm going to get this to medium-high. You'll see, yes, my range is messy right now, sue me. You'll see that there's actually already a little bit of oil in the bottom here, and I have to add a little bit of extra fat to compensate for some of these extra flavorings that I'm putting in. So there's maybe 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of oil already in the pan, and then I'm going to start melting the butter. That's the next step. So we're going to come back when it's a little more melted. Actually, while that butter is melting, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour the onion in with the rice and demonstrate that I'm not left-handed. And then just give that a good little mix. With Mr. Wooden Spoon, just to get that all together and happy. Butter's starting to get melty, but not quite there yet. Okay, butter is good and melty now. Swish it around the pan. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drop all of this rice and onion right down in there. And most rice recipes don't call for this, but I'm going to brown this. And I don't know why it's better. It's just better. And if you go in the Caribbean and you see anybody in the Caribbean cooking rice, they're almost always going to brown it before they add any liquid. So that's what we're doing here. Right now, I'm just going to get it started with the wooden spoon until I get everything kind of coated. And once I got that coat going on, then I can start just doing this. Switching things around. I'm still on medium-high. And I'm going to let that go. I'm probably about a good 5 minutes, maybe even close to 10. You don't want to burn it, but you want to smell it browning and you want to smell it getting nutty. So I'm going to let this go for a while now. But you know what you shouldn't forget to do? You shouldn't forget nice, good pinch. I'm going to say that's probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. Put that on there. Look at that getting all happy. Now, if I could only be that confident with the egg, right? It's been a few minutes now, and now that it's gone pretty good, Maybe you'll see that the color's changed a little bit. I'm starting to smell a little nuttiness. We're not done browning yet, but at this point I'm going to introduce the craisins. We'll drop those down in there and let those start to also get happy. And again, because everything's moving so freely in the pan at this point, pardon my reach, I could just mix them in this way. Valuable life skill being able to do that. Again, just wish I could do it with an egg. So we'll be back in another couple of minutes. Okay, it's been pretty close to 5 minutes now. You can see the color's really browned up. Everything's coated. The kernels of rice are moving pretty freely. This is much easier to do now because of how well coated everything is. Now it's time to introduce these scalliony thingies. And of course, everybody's favorite, garlic. Garlic. Garlic you don't want to burn, you don't want to scald, so this maybe gets another minute. Okay, I really wish you could smell this at this point. The garlic really is smelling up the kitchen now. Everything's looking really good. Now we're just about ready. We're going to add the herbage. There, down goes the sage. Down goes the rosemary. Give it another couple of mixes. Like that, and now it's time to add the stock that I've been warming up over here. It's all going to go in one big dose. Now this has been on a low burner, I mentioned. This is important. If you have an electric stove, this is a wonderful life hack. If you have an electric stove, leave this burner on when you take the stock off. I have a gas stove, I don't have to, but you should. And so now down goes stock. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to turn that all the way up to high. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of a stir with the wooden spoon and just make sure that nothing's trying to stick to the bottom and it all feels pretty good. And what we want to do is we want to get this to pretty close to a rolling boil. And then that tightly fitting lid is going to come in handy. But, excuse me, it's time to do the cracked pepper, which I cannot do while I'm holding the phone, so bear with me. It only took me about 10 seconds to add all that pepper. Probably about 15 or 20 good grinds of pepper, because I like it a little peppery. I'm going to stir that in. But you can see when I stop stirring that we're pretty much already just about to the boil. You can see those bubbles coming up now. So there we are. We are boiling. So, now that we're at the boil, we take Mr. Tightly Fitting Lid, put it on there. We drop our burner down to about medium-low. A little closer to low, medium-low. This is the tricky part. You're going to have to figure your stove out. You want it just enough to keep it simmering for the duration of the cook. At this point, you do not touch this lid. You don't peek, you don't look, you don't do anything. You just leave this closed. If you have a crappy electric stove, instead of turning the heat down like I did, you would move this over to that burner that you kept on low over there, because an electric burner won't drop the temperature quickly enough and you'll burn your rice. So that's what you would have done there. I've got the gas cooktop, so I did it this way. But now this is going to get happy, I'm going to say, for about 24 minutes. So the way I figure it is usually for about a cup of rice, this kind takes about 18 minutes, and then every additional half a cup adds about 3 minutes. So I'm going to say 24 minutes, and we'll be back. It's only been about 3 minutes. You can see that we still got a little steam coming out of the pan. We don't want it like steaming like mad. We want to see little bits of steam like this coming out. That's a good sign. Most of it, of course, we want to stay in there because we're steaming the rice. But just a little bit like that, that's how you know you got it warm enough without having it too warm. Also, if your pan doesn't have a tight-fitting lid, one of the tricks that you can use is to actually wrap a towel tightly around the lid and then put it on, and that towel will make a better seal. But if you're going to do that method, then you're going to have to add a little bit more water because the towel's going to want to absorb some of it. Okay, it's been 24 minutes. So now I turn off the heat. Pull it off the heat. Now we're done, right? Wrong. Now we wait at least 2 or 3 more minutes for this to rest. Alright, kids. About 3 minutes gone by. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Look at that. You'd still see liquid in there. That would mean you needed to cook it longer, but if you open the lid, it's going to be really hard to fix. If it's stuck to the bottom, it doesn't fluff easily with a fork, and this is the only tool for this job, by the way, then you left it on too long. So, too much liquid, not long enough. Crusty, too long. This appears to be just right, and I'll tell you in a minute. I'm gonna grab a bite here. Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. So there you have it, kids. Delicious, delicious rice. And this batch will last a long time, as you can see. As always, leave your hate in the comments. Tell me what I did wrong, tell me what I screwed up, tell me what you like, etc. And stay safe out there, stay healthy.